y'all! So we're going to do a tutorial using the Morphe 35P palette. Don't think I've used this palette really on my channel. I think I've used it once, but that was for a super colorful look. But this palette is pretty dang universal. Obviously I know the purples can be a little bit overwhelming, but if you have brown or green eyes, I think this palette is such a great palette to own. You can create a lot of different looks using it. I also went in a little bit more in depth with the brushes that I use to do a smoky eye and just kind of the steps that I use it for. So yeah, whatever. I hope you guys like this. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and let's get started on the tutorial. Thanks! So I'm just going to be running errands, but I wanted to do a like plummy, purpley, smoky eye, so I'm going to use the 35P palette from Morphe. And I've already primed my eyes, so we're just going to go ahead and get started with the eye tutorial. I'm going to first go into this shadow for a little bit of a transition shade when it comes to doing your eyeshadow. Some people probably think it's not necessary, but really for blending shadows and making sure you don't have any harsh lines, it is necessary. So we're just going to sweep this back and forth in windshield wiper motions. And I kind of lift my eye up as I'm applying this, make sure it's in my crease and up towards the brow bone. For this particular look, I'm going to stick with a fluffy brush still, and I'm going to go into, first I'm going to go into this shadow right here, or shade right here. It's a little bit lighter, so it won't be as, like, harsh to start with. I want to go light and then build your way up. So we're just going to actually basically apply that color right where we applied the first shadow. But I'm going to focus this more in my crease and more towards the back of my eye. Then I'm going to go into this Wet n Wild brush. It's still kind of fluffy, but it's a little bit more dense than a fluffy brush. So you have a little bit more control on where the product actually goes. And we're going to go in with this color right here. And we're going to apply that a little bit more in the crease and the outer corner. So you just want to get the product placed where you want it. Don't worry about blending or, blending out any of the harsh lines. Just apply it where you want it. Then I'm going to take the Morphe M330 brush and just kind of blend these out a little bit. Okay, I'm going to actually apply a little bit more. Applying a little bit of shadow at a time and then blending and then applying again and then blending is the best way to make sure that you don't get, well, that you don't apply too much, and also that it blends the best. Because if you go in with too much or too heavy-handed, you're never going to get it to blend out smoothly. Okay, so I do like where it's at right now, the intensity of the transition shadows. So we're just going to stop with those shadows for right now, and we're going to start trying to deepen up and make it a little bit more smoky in the outer corner. So what I do with that is I take more of a condensed brush. This is actually just an e.l.f. shadow brush. You guys have probably seen me use this often. And then I take a clean, any type of kind of clean fluffy brush at first, but not super fluffy. This is the Morphe M433, sorry. And see, it's a little packed, but it's not super fluffy or super condensed. So it's kind of a good middle of the road shadow. So first we're going to take the e.l.f. brush and we're going to go into this color right down here first. This is the dark plum kind of shadow. And we're just going to apply this in the outer corner on the lid, towards the lash line, and out towards the tail of your brow. and then like up in the crease. Not too far up though, just really directly in the crease. And for this particular look, I am going to bring this color to right about the middle of my eye. Some of that will be covered back up by the time we get done with this look, but so then go in with the Morphe M433, and I'm just gonna kind of start blending. Again, you want no harsh lines. And I'm really like super light-handed with this. Like almost barely touching my eye. So for this particular look, I feel like right here is a little bit harsher than I personally like. So what I do is I take a fluffy brush again, and I go back into that second color that we used, just super light. And I'm just gonna apply a little bit right here. So for this particular look, I feel like right here is a little bit harsher than I personally like. So what I do is I take a fluffy brush again, and I go back into that second color that we used, just super light. And I'm just gonna apply a little bit right here, and then just kind of blend those shadows together. So I'm gonna go in with a brush like this. It's still fluffy, but it's a little bit shorter. And I'm gonna grab a little bit. I'm actually gonna mix the black and the dark purple that we used a second ago. Just slightly kind of go back and forth in those, tap off the excess, and just apply this in the very outer corner, just to kind of deepen this up. I'm not going to worry about blending it. Okay, and I'm going to take a clean Morphe M330 and sweep it, just the outer part. I'm not going to go into the actual eyelid. The lighter color that we applied, the purple, but it was lighter, and just kind of dust this going backwards on the inner or the middle part of our eye. And again, it's super light motions. I'm not like pressing down on my eye, nothing like that. I always do this step, especially with a darker shadows or any shadows that have any fallout. I just take a makeup wipe, I put my finger like that, and I just sweep it underneath the eye going out. Okay, so we're gonna finish up the eyes really quick. This part you really just cannot skip. I know it sounds, people are like really scared to do this. I honestly, it took me a long time for me to try it, but now, I mean, I'm constantly doing this. So I'm going to take a pencil brush. I use the Morphe E36 because it's just a little bit more fluffy than, say, like a liner brush. So you kind of get a bit more of a smoky effect under the eyes. So what I'm going to do is start with the shadow, this shadow that we used. That was kind of more our second transition shade. Basically the same concept that you did with your eyes, you're going to do on your lower lash line also. And you're just going to sweep it across. This is going to help define your eye and also kind of help create the shape that you want. It's a lot better technique than just going in with black liner, because then that closes your eyes in. It defines them, but it closes them in. If you go in with some shadow underneath your lid or your eyes, you're defining them just like you would a liner, but you're not closing them and making them like look really heavy or downturned. Okay, then we're going to go in with this shadow right here, which is the third shadow that we applied. The dark plum shadow that we used to smoke everything out. And I'm just going to take this color from the back part of the eye towards the middle of the eye. I'm not going to sweep it all the way across like we were those other shadows. And I do this because it does make it still smoky, but again, you're not closing in your eye, you're not making them look smaller than they are. This is actually helping create the illusion that they're a little bit more open and more awake looking. Okay, so that's it for this tutorial. I hope it was very helpful. I kind of tried to go in a little bit more in detail with the eyeshadow and like the process that I go through when I do kind of more of a smoky eye. I'm sure you guys have seen, or I hope you guys have watched some of my other tutorials, and I just hope that this was just a little bit more helpful. I know sometimes I kind of breeze through stuff really fast, but I kind of wanted to just take a second with this particular tutorial and kind of go step by step and explain the brushes too, because I think that can be kind of confusing. But that is your biggest asset when you do your eyeshadow, is what tools you have. If you're using the sponge that comes in, sorry, I didn't mean to laugh at that, but if you're using the sponge that comes in the whatever compact you buy, please, 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 please just throw that away. Please go to Walgreens and purchase some of these Wet n Wild brushes. I'm telling you guys, it will definitely change the way you apply your eyeshadows, the way they come out in the end, and you'll actually, I think, really start enjoying applying eyeshadow when you have the right tools. I would definitely suggest purchasing a fluffy brush like this. I have like 5 of these Wet n Wild fluffy brushes. For me, sometimes I can just do one look with just this one brush. So yes, in this tutorial I used probably 5 different brushes on just my eyes, but you can still create a look without doing all that. That's just, I know that's a little extra, but I wanted to show you guys kind of how I would do it every day. And then you want to get a brush that's like this. This is the eyeshadow, the large eyeshadow brush from Wet n Wild. It is a little bit more fluffy, but you kind of have more control with this. So this one is just going to sweep it across. You're not going to have as much control, but it's going to help you blend. This is going to help you get the product exactly where you want it. So for these 2 brushes, I would definitely suggest them. I think they're 99 cents at the drugstore, so I mean, you're not breaking the bank. And also, Morphe brushes are very inexpensive for the quality that they are. I know with MAC brushes, they can be like 20 bucks. I mean, I'm not sure how much eyeshadow brushes are, but I know some of the face brushes are like 20 bucks. But with Morphe, I mean, I think this was $4. Yes, you have to purchase them online, so that kind of stinks, but they are very good quality for a very good price. So check them out if you want to kind of expand a little bit more and all that. I will have a list of the brushes that I use down below in the description box if you want to know more or want to purchase or whatever. So yeah. So I hope this was helpful. Please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!